I got a delivery notification this morning for something I ordered 11 days ago, and I genuinely could not remember what it was. I opened the door. It was a set of linen napkins. Linen napkins. I don't host dinner parties. And the thing is, I remember the moment I bought them. I was lying in bed, half asleep, scrolling. They looked nice, they were on sale. One click, done. My card details were saved. There was no pause, no friction, no moment where I thought, do I actually need linen napkins? That's the problem. The easier it is to spend, the less we think before we do it. Every major advancement in payments technology over the last 20 years has been about one thing: making it easier, faster, and less conscious to spend money. Tap to pay replaced chip and pin. One click checkout replaced entering your card details. Saved cards replaced one click. Apple Pay and Google Pay mean you don't even need your wallet. Buy now, pay later remove the upfront price pain entirely. Subscriptions remove the monthly decision altogether. Each of these is genuinely convenient, and each of them, by design, reduces the moment of pause between wanting something and paying for it. That pause, that tiny friction, is actually doing important work. It's the space where your brain checks in. Do I need this? Can I afford this? Is this the best use of this money right now? When the pause disappears, so does the check in, and you end up with linen napkins. This is not a willpower problem. This is an environment problem, and environments can be redesigned. Meet Nadia. Nadia is 28. She earns well, budgets carefully, and genuinely cannot figure out where her money goes. Every month, she sits down to review her spending and finds a collection of small, individually reasonable purchases that add up to a number that doesn't make sense. $89 on an app she downloaded and used twice. $340 on a skincare product she saw in a reel and bought before she'd finished watching it. $220 on a book she already owns in a different edition. $650 on a flash sale she didn't need to enter, but felt urgent in the moment. $180 on a meal she ordered because she was tired and her saved addresses made it 4 taps. None of those purchases were catastrophic. None of them required thought. That's the point. None of them required thought. They happened in the gap between impulse and consequence, in a payment environment specifically designed to keep that gap as small as possible. Nadia's problem isn't discipline. Her problem is that her spending environment has no speed bumps. Every surface is frictionless. And frictionless surfaces don't slow you down, they accelerate you. Let's talk about what's actually happening neurologically when you make an impulse purchase. Because understanding this changes how you respond to it. Your brain has two operating systems. There's the fast system, automatic, emotional, reactive. It responds to triggers like scarcity, social proof, aesthetics, and convenience. This is the system that sees a flash sale countdown and feels urgency even when you have no idea what you're buying. And there's the slow system, deliberate, rational, goal oriented. This is the system that knows your budget, remembers your financial goals, and asks whether the linen napkins are actually necessary. The fast system is always on. The slow system has to be activated, and it requires a moment of pause to engage. Every frictionless payment mechanism is designed to hand the fast system a completed transaction before the slow system has had a chance to weigh in. The saved card, the one-click checkout, the tap to pay, they are all fast system enablers. Adding friction to your spending environment is not about punishing yourself. It's about giving your slow system a fighting chance. And here's what the research shows. You don't need a lot of friction. Even tiny amounts of added friction dramatically reduce impulsive behavior. A 2-second delay, an extra step, a confirmation screen. Small interruptions have outsized effects. So, how do you practically add friction to your spending? Here's a toolkit. Pick what works for you. Tool 1: delete saved card details from shopping sites. This is the single highest impact change you can make. When your card details aren't saved, every online purchase requires you to get up, find your card, and enter the numbers manually. That 30 seconds is enough to make your slow system ask, is this worth it? For impulse purchases, the answer is usually no. I know this feels inconvenient. That's the point. Inconvenience is friction, friction is protection. Tool 2. Remove express checkout options. One click buy, shop pay, PayPal Express. Remove them from your browsers and apps. Go back to standard checkout. The extra steps aren't a punishment, they're a pause. Tool 3. The 24-hour rule for non essentials. Anything over $200 goes into a cart or a wish list and waits 24 hours before you buy it. If you still want it tomorrow, you can have it. Most of the time, you won't. The urgency dissolves. The want turns out to have been a moment, not a need. Tool 4. A separate spending card with a set balance. Open a second account or use a virtual card if your bank offers it, and load it with your discretionary spending budget at the start of each month. When it's empty, it's empty. This creates a hard boundary that your main account doesn't have. Your main account feels infinite. A card with $400 on it very clearly does not. Tool 5. Turn off one-tap payments for discretionary spending. Keep tap to pay for groceries and transport, places where speed genuinely helps. But disable it or use a different card for discretionary spending. The extra step of entering a PIN is enough friction to make you pause. Tool 6. Unsubscribe from retail emails and push notifications. You cannot impulse buy something you didn't know was on sale. Retail marketing is specifically designed to create artificial urgency. The flash sale, the limited stock warning, the personalized recommendation, these are triggers. Remove the triggers and you remove a significant portion of the impulse. I want to address cash stuffing specifically because it comes up a lot. It's a whole aesthetic on TikTok and YouTube, and I want to give you an honest take. Cash stuffing is the practice of withdrawing physical cash and dividing it into envelopes labeled by spending category: groceries, transport, entertainment, clothing. When the envelope is empty, that category is done for the month. Does it work? Yes. For some people, genuinely yes. Physical cash creates maximum friction. Handing over notes feels different from tapping a card. You see the money leave. You feel the envelope get lighter. The psychology is real, but is it practical for everyone? No. If you have a fully digital lifestyle, online bills, digital subscriptions, card-only retailers, cash stuffing requires a hybrid approach that can get complicated. The envelope aesthetic, while satisfying, is not the point. The point is friction. The point is making spending visible and deliberate. If cash stuffing gives you that, great. If it feels like too much admin, use the digital alternatives I mentioned. The mechanism matters less than the principle. Slow down the moment between wanting and spending. So what did Nadia do? She started with 2 changes only. She deleted her saved card details from her 3 most used shopping sites, and she set a 24-hour rule for anything over $200. The first week was uncomfortable. She had to get up and find her card twice. Both times she put it back without buying. Not because the things weren't nice, they were, but because 30 seconds was enough time for her slow system to ask whether she actually needed them. By month 3, she had added a discretionary spending card with a fixed monthly balance. By month 6, her unplanned spending had dropped by just under 40%. She didn't become a different person. She redesigned her environment, and her environment did the work. You are not failing at discipline. You are living in a spending environment that has been professionally engineered to bypass your better judgment. Every saved card, every one-click checkout, every push notification is a tool designed by someone whose job is to get you to spend before you think. You are allowed to redesign that environment in your favor. You are allowed to add the friction back. And when you do, when you give your slow system the half second it needs to check in, you will be surprised how many things you don't actually want. Comment friction below. And tell me, what is the most unnecessary thing you have bought on autopilot? No judgment. I bought linen napkins. We've established this. Subscribe if you haven't. EP16 is next, and we are talking about convenience. how paying for ease, delivery shortcuts, and time saving services is quietly becoming one of the biggest hidden costs in your budget, and why it feels completely justified every single time. See you next week.